Shrimp salad used to be considered a delicacy, but now, for some reason, it seems to be an afterthought at the end of the deli counter. However, when done right, it's dang tasty. I'm gonna show you how to make the best shrimp ever, even before we put it in the salad. And then, I've got a special ingredient that you don't wanna miss that makes it incredible. Sound good? Let's cook. Now, there are loads of different shrimp sizes out there, and the best ones to me to use in a shrimp salad are going to be like a 26-30 or even a 31-40. Now, all those numbers mean is that's how many make up 1 pound. I do have 2 pound total of 26 to 30s. If they're too small, it just kind of cheapens the salad. If they're too big, you can't eat it. And I do always like to use wild caught. It tastes better and it's better for you, but it doesn't really matter if it's pink, tiger, white, brown, or rock shrimp. All of them will work. So with these peeled and deveined shrimp with clean hands, all you want to do is firmly hold the flesh part of the shrimp in one hand and then pinch the tail and simply pull it off. Repeat the process until all 2 pounds are completely shelled. And let's just say there's absolutely no way you can get peeled and deveined shrimp. Well, I want to show you how easy it is to do. Definitely pick up one of these shrimp peelers and deveiners. It will save you a ton of time. So once you have the shrimp like this, push it right through the top and then just lift back. It peels it, it deveins it. Then all you do is just rinse out all the you-know-what in the inside. Now say you do not have a shrimp peeler and deveiner, no worries. Hold the shrimp in one hand and then pinch together the legs and wrap the shell around the shrimp. It should easily come off, and then just simply pull off the tail. Then using a paring knife while the shrimp is set on its side, just slice it right down the middle and remove that inside vein, and then just give it a rinse like the rest of the shrimp. Now for those shells, don't you dare throw those away. I have an amazing shrimp bisque recipe. Just pop these in the freezer until you have enough to make it. Now for the cooking procedures for this shrimp, I have 2 quarts of water in a 3-quart size pan. We are going to crank the heat up to high. All we want to do is bring it to a boil. Once it is boiling, I'm going to slice 2 lemons. We want to squeeze the juice of those lemons into that boiling water and then just add those lemons in there. You should get about 4 to 6 tablespoons of juice total between both lemons. And then I do have a secret ingredient, and that's pickling spice. Now, I have a great homemade recipe, which you can check out in my shrimp cocktail video. And in fact, you probably already have all of these ingredients already in your cupboard. So there's no reason to go purchase this from the store. Let's add some in. I'm going to add in about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of this pickling spice. I know that seems like a lot, but I cannot say it enough. This liquid should be so flavorful. Then generously, and I mean generously, season it. About 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of coarse salt. And don't forget, you're using this liquid to season up the shrimp, so it should be incredibly flavorful. After all, you're not drinking the liquid, you're eating the shrimp. That's super good. It's so important to taste things during the cooking process. I mean, how else do you know if something's good without tasting it? That practicing will turn into memorization at some point, and you'll get to understand what things should taste like at which stage. Plus, honestly, it can make the cooking process a whole lot more enjoyable. Let's add in our shrimp right to that boiling, seasoned up water. It is going to take 90 seconds on the dot from the time you drop it until the time they're finished cooking. I usually like to use a spoon just to move some things around, make sure the shrimp are completely submerged and all those spices are getting incorporated into everything. Then after that amount of time, we want to shock these and stop the cooking process immediately. So we're going to drain off the shrimp and put it right into a large container full of ice cold water. But don't let them sit for too long. One of the easiest ways to know if your shrimp is cooked perfectly is that it will be in a loose sea like this. Now, if it's overcooked, it's going to be in a really tight sea, and it's going to be tough, rubbery, and will actually lose quite a bit of flavor. So do not overcook these in any circumstance. But you know, I always say you got to try your food. It needs nothing. It's delicious as is. But just think how much better it's going to be when I mix in all that goodness from the salad. So good, right? You know, it's always about those basics. I always tell you that. And for that leftover poaching liquid, you can actually keep this for a few more days to poach other seafood in. This is known as a court bouillon. And just as soon as those shrimp are cold, immediately drain those off. You do not want them to sit in there and become waterlogged. Then we're just going to put them in the refrigerator and start knocking out some prep. Beginning with one large red onion. Slice off the ends, slice it in half, remove that outside peel, but we're actually only going to use about a half of this half, so a quarter total red onion, which will render in between a quarter and a third cup small diced. Set this to the side, and then I have 2 ribs of celery, which I'm also going to small dice. I want the vegetables to be all uniform, and I want them to be small so that the shrimp really shine through. I have 1 clove of garlic I'm going to smash and finely mince. And then I have about 3 to 4 sprigs of dill. Now I'm going to keep those stems on there because there's some really great flavors in those stems. We're going to finely mince this until I have about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons. And yes, you can absolutely use dry dill. Next, I'm adding in a 1/3 cup of full-fat mayonnaise. I have an awesome homemade recipe that will absolutely take this over the top if you do it. If not, any of your favorite branded mayonnaise will absolutely work here. And now I'm just going to add in our chilled down drained shrimp. And I know I said I had a secret ingredient, but I'm going to add a not so secret one first, just as a little surprise. We are going to seed and small dice 1/2 red bell pepper. And then the one ingredient that no one is using, and oh my gosh, does it make it so good, is fennel. The flavor goes incredible with shrimp, and it actually goes even more incredible with red bell pepper. And that combination together is gold. All we're going to do is finely mince up 2 tablespoons and add that in there as well. Fennel has a root end at the bottom, so I'm just going to thinly slice next to that stem. Again, I'm only looking for about 2 tablespoons. Then I'm going to very small dice it. This is actually known as a brunoise cut. If you don't feel confident in doing this, just finely mince it. We're going to add that in there along with the juice of 1/2 lemon, which is about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. It's just going to help brighten it up a little bit. Then, of course, we're going to season it with coarse salt and freshly cracked black pepper. If you want to do something just to give it a little kick, try hitting it with some Old Bay seasoning. Then we're just going to use a spoon and mix everything together until combined. It smells awesome. I may have snuck one. Yes, it is so good, but be sure to adjust the seasonings to get it to where you like it. Now for me, I love this open-faced on some toasted bread. You could use rye, sourdough, white, whatever you've got. Then I lay down a few leaves of butter leaf lettuce, stack on that shrimp salad, and then, of course, to make it look nice and for a little bit more flavor, we're going to finish it with some finely minced fresh dill and chives. Chives and shrimp are a delicious classic pairing. Let's get in it. That's so good. The shrimp is cooked perfectly. And that little hint of fennel, I'm telling you, that's the secret. It really is just such a delicious sandwich. Perfect for summer, something light. My family, who doesn't even like shrimp, would absolutely kill this. Good food always brings people around the table, guaranteed. Now, if you really like these bound type salads, my fresh tuna salad is insanely delicious. I've got an awesome recipe video. I'll see you on there.